Hello, it's John Heaton, and today I'm going to review the new Gimme Some Truth Lennon double CD. Didn't buy the box set. Double CD seemed to be the best value for money. Started off on Spotify, but then I couldn't resist this when I saw it, especially having listened to the improvement in the sound. I think they've done a fantastic job. Yoko, executive producer, and Sean probably closer to the actual remixing. It's called the Ultimate Remix. We've seen Lennon's albums come out over the years, particularly in 2010 remixed, and Mind Games was superbly mixed by Yoko in 2002, but I think most of these tracks have got a fresh sound to them, and I was really happy with all aspects of it. The packaging is great. This picture taken of John the same day he returned his MBE. We've got a double-sided poster, the bed piece, which is very nice. That comes in all the formats, the vinyl as well. The reproduction of the letter to Her Majesty the Queen, returning his MBE, and some lyric, the actual booklet in the box set is obviously 124 pages. This is only well, maybe less than 20 pages, but some good pictures in here, and no lyrics, but good band picture here from the Imagine sessions. So recognise George Harrison, Nicky Hopkins on piano there, John Lennon, Alan White at the back on drums, Klaus Voormann on bass. I'm not quite sure who that guy at the back is on guitar and who this guy in the foreground is. If any of you know, let me know. So that was nice, and then on the other side we've got the scene from late '69. Not sure if that was in Canada or where that was filmed. So yeah, as I say, no lyrics, but and no musician credits. But songwriting credits, and interestingly, I noticed that Imagine is now credited to Lennon Ono, as it has been for the last few years. What was the other one I was looking for? Yeah, Lennon, Give Peace a Chance is credited to Lennon, but I think it was already credited to Lennon in this compilation, Power to the People. I'll just double check that for you, but yeah, it was already, so that was 2010, so for the last 10 years it's been credited to Lennon. I guess McCartney must have given his permission for that. So yeah, listening to the tracks, I mean, I cranked it up loud, and even though I had the window closed and the curtains drawn, I was worried the neighbours were going to complain, because even at 10.2 on the volume was very loud indeed. So that's a sign of a well-mastered CD or good remix. Cold Turkey really jumped out at the speakers with Ringo's superb drumming and Klaus Voormann's superb bass playing. Same with Instant Karma. Alan White's on fire on the drums. Always was a great drumming performance, but particularly on this remix, and Klaus's bass is outstanding. And the Plastic Ono Band's tracks, although I guess we're going to see a 50th anniversary issue coming up, so they only chose Isolation, God, Working Class Hero and Love, 4 tracks from there. And I noticed that John's voice was more prominent, and just all in all a better version. So the Imagine tracks, not much improvement from just the version which came out a couple of years ago, which is pretty recent, so I'm not sure if there was much improvement there. Angelo, the track from Sometime in New York City, very good to see this track chosen and getting a bit of prominence, because normally I suppose Yoko would have gone for Woman is the Nigger of the World, but Sean and Yoko, who chose the tracks, quite rightly I think, wanted to give Angelo some of the spotlight. It's a kind of sister song to Sweetback Angel from the Stones, written about the same protest person, Angela Davis, 72. Mind Games 3 tracks from this album, maybe a little bit short change there, the Mind Games album, but very nice remix of the title track and of I Know, and of Out of the Blue. Gordon Edwards on bass, particularly outstanding. You can hear the guitars clearer. It's just a pity that they didn't put Meat City on here, perhaps. Walls and Bridges, similar. I could really hear Jim Keltner's drumming like on Bless You, he's playing a very low-key drum track, and it's then it changes in the middle 8, which is quite interesting. And on Steel and Glass, again, I didn't really notice Jim Keltner's drumming because it's in the background, but it's very complementary to the track. Did notice at the end of Bless You, we had Lennon saying, "Take a listen," which I always thought, listening to Walls and Bridges, was the intro to Scared, not the outro to Bless You, but maybe it was just an accident in the studio that they finished that take a Bless You. John said, "Take a listen, let's take a listen," and then they put that straight into the wolf howling at the beginning of Scared. So it works very well either way. The rock and roll selection, Stand By Me, is an obvious one, but then Angel Baby, I was very happy to see that included, because that has only ever been on Men Love Avenue in 1986. I think it wasn't on. This is still the best Lennon compilation for me because it consists of 100% unreleased material. That came out in 1998. But that, for some reason, didn't have Angel Baby. I don't think it did anyway. Had a couple of the rock and roll outtakes, but not that one. So this is very welcome, and I can't really understand why it didn't make the rock and roll album, because Lennon's vocal is superb, sings it well. Spector's production is a little muddy perhaps, but no worse than the tracks which ended up on rock and roll from him. Sweet Little 16, Boney Maroney, Just Because, and You Can't Catch Me. So I think they should have put it on the album at the expense of Do You Want to Dance, which I think is the weakest track. The Double Fantasy tracks, I didn't notice a huge improvement. It's such a well-produced album anyway. I thought that Tony Levin's bass on Beautiful Boy could have been mixed a bit higher, but this is minor criticism. It's a very good sounding album. On Milk and Honey, I noticed the rhythm guitars on Nobody Told Me a little clearer in the mix. I noticed Tony Levin's bass on I'm Stepping Out clearer, Lennon's vocals, the guitar on that track. I probably enjoyed him stepping out more than I have ever done. Grow Old Along With Me seems to be the anthology version, although it sounded to me, and I'll have to go back and listen to Anthology, but it sounded to me like the first verse is from a different version to the second verse onwards, when the strings come in, because the voice seems to get higher in the mix, but maybe I was just imagining it. But I love that Anthology version. George Martin doing the string arrangement. When I met Yoko in Budapest in '98, I asked her what she thought of that string arrangement. She said it was very fruity, and that wasn't particularly meant in a complimentary way. And I said, "Oh, really? I love it." So anyway, she's probably softened her stance now, and her and Sean decided that that was the version to go on here, and I think they made the right decision. Happy Christmas War Is Over. The first thing I notice is at the beginning, you've got Yoko saying Happy Christmas Kyoko and John saying Happy Christmas Julian. But on the words, on the official words, it's Happy Christmas Yoko, Happy Christmas John. So, but that's crystal clear that the greetings are being addressed to Kyoko and Julian. Listen for yourself if you don't believe me. And that still wasn't corrected on my Yugoslav press with the band sleeve, and also on the new press. Although I did notice the one difference with the new press is, as I said earlier, the Give Peace a Chance is now credited to Lennon alone. Which is, so I guess that must have happened fairly recently. But on my Indian pressing of Shaved Fish, which I think came from the early 80s, if not before, Give Peace a Chance is credited to Lennon alone. So let me just see whether Give Peace a Chance was credited to Yeah, no, I already checked that, didn't I? It was credited to Lennon in 2010, so... But I don't understand why it was credited to Lennon on here, because I didn't think they'd reached an agreement yet. But I'm not sure when that happened. Give Peace a Chance. Nice to hear the full version. Don't get the full version on Shaved Fish, obviously. It's probably put at the end of the album for a reason, so that if you don't want to listen to it all the way through, you can skip it at the end. And I don't dare say I'm not going to listen to it all the way through endlessly, because it's not one of those tracks that you would tend to do that. But it's nice to have it. I'm glad it's there for completeness' sake. So how does this compilation compare to others? Well, I think it's nice that, one, it covers the whole of John's career, not that we had much. It finished obviously prematurely in 1980, but whereas Shaved Fish only goes up to 75, this one covers the whole shooting match, and it's not just covering the obvious tracks. It's got some nice album tracks, and by the way, there's a 19-song version of this. This has got 36 songs, and there's a 19-song version of this, which is even more pared down. But even that has a couple of album tracks like Give Me Some Truth, which I think are essential Lennon. Other tracks like Working Class Hero and Love. I think if anyone's discovering Lennon, they need more than just one of the albums, or more than Shaved Fish. So I think this is a good starting point. Every Man Has a Woman Who Loves Him. That was an interesting choice, because it's not actually written by Lennon, but he is singing the harmony vocal, and they've mixed out Yoko's vocal to make it sound a bit like a solo track. And it's quite interesting, and it's nice to have it on a compilation. I'm not sure if it completely belongs on this compilation, but I'm not complaining too much, because it's one of those songs I don't think I had on CD up till now. I don't think I'm going to bother buying the vinyl. It's a little bit pricey, but if I see it at a reasonable price, I might pick it up. So that was the Lennon compilation. Good to see him in the public eye again, and good to see his songs getting played on the radio, and I've enjoyed all the BBC tributes and the interviews with Sean, with Elton and Julian and Paul. All good stuff, and thank you for watching. See you next time.